I am curious what serving size is recommended for seasonal fruit. Also, is it okay to eat that serving size each day, and during which phases is it acceptable? As you may or may not know, one of my original expressions was give fruit the boot. Fruit is not a health food. There's new evidence that the sugar in fruit, fructose, poisons mitochondria, and that's the last thing you want to do. Now, the other thing that in fruit has been hybridized to have high sugar content. It's also been hybridized to be bigger. When I was growing up, the apple was a little bitty thing. Now an apple is the size of a grapefruit. And same way, an orange used to be a little bitty thing. Now an orange is the size of a cantaloupe. So we have supersized everything. And if you'll notice, even the names have changed. An apple is now a Honey Crisp, and it's, the size of a grapefruit. The serving size makes a huge difference. So downsize all of your fruit if you're going to eat them, and be cognizant that a serving size of fruit today is totally different than what it used to be. So have very little bits of fruit, preferably none whatsoever. Use them as a treat, not as a daily occurrence. Maria, what should I do when I hit a plateau in weight? Maria, I have hit multiple plateaus in my journey of losing 70 pounds. And often they're actually psychologic plateaus. I can never forget not being able to get below 200 pounds. I would, hit 199, and then the next day I'd be 203. And it literally took me about a month to finally make the plunge below 200. My next stop was 180. And it's fascinating. 180 is another place where I must have spent a month, maybe 6 weeks, just couldn't get past 180. So there are, I think, in my patient population, there's a ton of people that 200 is a major barrier. I don't know what your weight is, but there will be barriers. What I do is, first thing I do is I cut nuts out of my diet if I'm stuck. The second thing I do is I start skipping meals. Early on, I think the easiest meal to skip is actually lunch. Later on, I find that most people get the most benefit by skipping breakfast, and I go into that a lot in the longevity paradox, why breakfast is probably your least important meal. With one proviso: if your social and home calendar allow, the old saying, eat like a king at breakfast, a queen at lunch, and a pauper at dinner, is probably some of the best advice you can do. Unfortunately, just because of circumstances when the family actually gets together, we reverse that meal and we eat like kings at dinner, and that's probably the dumbest time to eat for long-term health and longevity.